Winter is truly upon us here at the Wonky Carrot Homestead. The days are getting shorter, the kangaroos are spending more time around the house. We are embracing a slower pace, appreciating the beauty in the early morning frost, and thinking ahead to the growing season that will once again be here soon.
Hi, welcome back to the Wonky Carrot Homestead. My name's Phoebe and today we're going to be harvesting our potato patch. I've just been out in the garden harvesting some apple mint so I can dry it out and use it for tea later on. So I'll go pop this inside and grab another wicker basket and we'll get into our potato patch. Okay. Now we've got a few extra baskets here. Hopefully we'll have a good harvest. We did get our potatoes in late for the season, so we're not expecting gigantic potatoes, but if we could have some medium-sized ones, then that'll be good. Oh, this is a good one. So I think we've got about 3 to 4 varieties in here. Look at that, Mags. Sebago, King Edward's, Dutch creams, and then we had some other organic biodynamic ones from the farmers market that we had left over and they were sprouting, so we've chucked those in. So we'll see what we get. All right, out. Okay. At least they want to help. That's a tiny one. Now, ooh, wow. I swear potatoes are the funnest thing to harvest. It's just like digging for gold. It's a good size one. Our plan with this veggie bed is we were thinking now that the potatoes are finished, we're going to turn it into our strawberry patch. And this morning we had a package arrive in the mail with our strawberry runners in it. We got 4 or 5 types and there's 5 runners in each pack. We've never grown with runners before. I only ever just bought the plants from the nursery. So we're excited to see how they go because we don't really have that good of a success rate with our strawberries. So we're excited to see how the strawberry runners go and hopefully they like this patch. And I think there's a lot of false information out there where people think you should plant your strawberries in spring. And when we went to the nursery last year, oh, that's a good one. The lady, we went in autumn. We wanted to plant the strawberries because the idea is that they then have all of winter to set their roots and become strong, healthy plants. When spring comes, then they're already established, and so you should get a really good crop. But when we went to buy our strawberry plants at the nursery in autumn last year, the lady at the counter was like, oh, you realise it's going into winter and you're not going to get anything until spring. And we were like, yeah, that's okay, that's the point. We want them to be healthy and established and strong when spring comes. Ooh, it's a nice colour. Ooh. Now, another thing we learnt about potatoes is I always thought that after you harvested them, you had to cure them like for 2 weeks or something before putting them into storage. However, recently Paul and I went to a tour at a local organic farm, and the farmer there was saying that once the heads start to die, if you actually chop all the heads off, leave the potatoes in the ground for a few weeks, and they'll actually cure in the ground, and then they're good to go straight into storage. So you don't actually have to harvest them and then leave them out for a couple of weeks. which I think is another myth. So that was good to learn. So I think these ones are definitely the Dutch cream. And from what I can tell, I think these must be the Sebago, the pink ones, because the King Edwards look like a mixture between the two. They'll have mottled colouring, half pink and half white. So. Ooh, that's a good grub. Nice, healthy soil, so that's good to see. Another one. Ooh, whoa, wow. Check out those two. They're a good size. Ooh. I'm telling you, you think you've got everything in the area and then there's just more to give. Another grub. Chickens can have that one. Oh, nice. Beautiful colour. Now we were hoping to harvest the potatoes a couple of weeks ago, but we ended up getting sick and a bit run down. So we're harvesting them now and we just had a whole lot of rainfall, so hopefully they're not too soggy or damaged. Now I think I've just found a King Edward, so I'll show you what I was talking about with the mottled colour. Let's brush that dirt off. So see how you've got the creamy colour and the pink colour? Now King Edwards are really good chipping potatoes. They're Paul's favourite potato to use in the kitchen. So that's exciting that there. We've got a few. So the soil looks pretty healthy, but we were thinking of just adding another layer anyway. And we were also going to, this here, that's all the potato tops, the green leaves, like this, ones that had died off. We just chopped it and left it on top, so that's full of nutrients and is a good layer of mulch. So we'll leave that in just to help break down and give the nutrients back to the soil. And then we'll probably add a little bit extra just to help keep it topped up. Now we're finding we're having a good success rate with the veggie beds that we've been making just out of the soil, taking the topsoil off and then adding a little bit of compost. Whoa, I've got a really good King Edward patch here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay, I think this is about to be the biggest one yet so far. Ready? Whoa, look at that. Beautiful. Huh?
Hold it up to your face.
With my basket. Ooh. Well, that's the, you know what, this potato looks like the fir, something fir. We'll look that up and find out what it's called, but we get those from the farmer's market as well. Something fir. It's not Douglas fir. We have also put some ash from the fireplace in the garden beds as well, along with the compost. tend to really like being on the edges, around here, don't they? Oh, look at that one just hiding there. I'll finish harvesting the other half of the potato patch and I will check in with you all later to see what our final tally is. So far, I'm pretty impressed with what we're getting and a good range of the different types that we've planted. What do you think, Dawsy? Hey? So we'll see you once I've finished. Alright, so we have completely gone through the bed twice now. I think we've got all of the potatoes out of there. The soil's looking really nice and healthy, so we don't think we'll actually add any extra soil to this, maybe just some ash and compost. Maggie, can you please get out of the leek bed? Out of the leek bed, come on, come here. Good girl, thank you. So we ended up getting two baskets worth of potatoes. So we're pretty happy with that considering that we planted them late. Obviously they're not the biggest potatoes. This is probably the biggest one that we got. It's not a toy, but as we said, we planted them late, so we were expecting something similar to this. We also worked out that we could probably get 2 harvests of potatoes, one if we plant them at the right time of the year, and then another one if we plant it later in the year. Then we can get a smaller harvest like this. So that's really good news for us. And we were discussing whether or not we should actually plant our strawberry runners into this bed. Considering the strawberries will be there permanently, we thought we might get a nicer spot for them out of the way where they're not going to get trampled. So we might actually put our peas in here, which will be good because we haven't planted any peas and beans yet for the season. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and we'll go inside and weigh our harvest. All right, let's weigh these potatoes and see how many we got. You can post your guesses in the comments down below if you like. Okay, this little basket, we have 2.32 kilos. So that's pretty impressive if you ask me. Now for the big basket. I feel bad tipping them in, I don't want to bruise them. Okay, big basket, 2.867 kilos. So what's that, about 5.2 kilos overall. I would say that's a pretty successful harvest considering the late season start. And tonight we should definitely bake some of these up and enjoy them. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.